Hello, friends and neighbors. Dr. Ken Berry back with you again. I'm going to be hanging out with you, answering your questions, talking about recent nutrition and medical news, and also asking you questions. I've got some questions I want to ask you, and I want your honest answer in the comments. Those are my dogs. They always wait till I'm live to do this. It's fine. It's no big deal. Toto and Lily, a rescue sort of Yorkie poo and a standard poodle. The Yorkie poo's a male who has lost his manhood, but still thinks he's the alpha, and he is only about 10 times smaller than Lily. So it's kind of funny when he thinks he's going to kick her butt. Never works. It's kind of like mainstream media thinking they're winning when they're really losing. As you are probably noticing, more and more people are turning to trustworthy doctors and dietitians on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter and other social media for their health and nutrition advice, because you just can't trust what's in mainstream media anymore. It's almost as if they've let all those millions of advertising dollars sway their ability to tell the truth. I don't know. That's just my opinion, but I could be wrong. I've got questions here already. I want you to type your questions into the comments. Try to keep them short while including all relevant information. This is from Tim. My cousin was just diagnosed with type 1 and type 2 diabetes. She immediately went keto. Very smart. Without being advised by her doctor, and brought her A1C down from 10.1 all the way down to 6.5 in 3 months. Any advice for this condition? I think your cousin's got it figured out. If she does this for another 3 months, her A1C will be 5.7, 5.8. And then if she does it for another 3 months, it'll be normal. And she can keep it normal for the rest of her life by eating a keto, carnivore, ketovore, even maybe a low-carb diet that's full of real whole foods. I guarantee if she had asked her doctor, hey, should I go keto? You just diagnosed me with diabetes. The doctor would be like, oh, God, no, don't do that. Oh, no, you might get keto butt crack or something. I don't know. Tim's cousin's got it figured out. So if you have a loved one who has type 1 or type 2 diabetes and a really high A1C, take a screenshot of Tim's comment and send it to him. Also, this is a great time to invite a friend or family member to join, and you're welcome to click the share button. It's right down there, and share this on your favorite social media. That's how you help me help new people who don't know the truth yet about a proper human diet. Great question, Tim. Thank you for that. All right, let's see what else we got here. Okay, here's a question from Zahilla. Can one stop thyroid medication? It depends on your diagnosis. There are some people who have Hashimoto's that when they go strict ketovore or carnivore, their antibodies go back to normal and they're able to have no symptoms and also not have to take thyroid replacement hormone. If you have hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism, you need to keep taking your thyroid medicine. You can definitely benefit from eating a proper human diet, but you don't need to stop your medication, more than likely. All right, this is the time, guys. Type your question in. Glenda says, my glucose is staying low. My doctor said eat Triscuits and peanut butter. They are wheat. Yeah. Triscuits and peanut butter will jack your blood sugar up. Your doctor's exactly right. So if your blood sugar is under 50, eat one Triscuit. That's all you need. Or one spoonful of just the regular brand name peanut butter. It'll fix your blood sugar quick because they're both full of starch, which breaks down immediately to sugar. Even before you swallow it, when you're chewing the Triscuit up, you have an enzyme in your mouth called amylase that's breaking the starch down into sugar in your mouth before you even swallow the one Triscuit. So yeah, That'll do it. Ronald, yourself and Casey and the other side of the health pyramid may make food your medicine. My brother is 10 years younger and has a couple of health issues, walked away from metformin and other drugs. So many people, when they adopt a proper human diet, they find that after a few weeks or a few months, they don't need their prescription medication anymore. And I always want you guys to check with your doctor before you stop any prescription, of course. That's just good common sense. But if you're taking 1 or 2 or 3 blood pressure medicines and you're checking your blood pressure at home and you've been eating keto or carnivore for a few months and you're like, dang, my blood pressure is low. It's like 110/70. Call your doctor and say, hey, you got me on 2 blood pressure medicines. I'm averaging 110/70. It sounds like my diet is working. Can I stop one of these medicines or at least decrease the medication? I can't tell you. There's so many thousands of people who have gotten off their type 2 diabetes medication, their blood pressure medication, so many different arthritis medication, mental health medication. They didn't just stop these medicines. They started and stuck to a proper human diet for months. When the symptoms got significantly better, they went and had a conversation with their doctor. Said, hey, I feel much better. Can we decrease this or maybe try a trial period of stopping it? Paul's watching from New Jersey. Everybody, tell me where you're watching from. Paul's in New Jersey. Where are you at? What city, what state, what country? I'm still waiting for somebody to be from Antarctica down at one of the research stations. We haven't had a viewer from Antarctica yet, but we've had every other continent, almost every other island in the world say hi on these lives. So please tell me where you're watching from. I don't know if Granny Berry's watching this one. Jay Adams figured out, he saw Ineffable on the title, and here's the definition. It means something is too great, powerful, or beautiful to be described or expressed in words. That's not me, folks. That's the power of a proper human diet, a diet that has the capability to reverse conditions that your doctor says is chronic and progressive. But when you start a proper human diet and stick to it, it gets better, and it keeps getting better until it's either virtually gone or completely gone. That's ineffable. I love that word. Cordella's in Albany, New York. Love it. Let's see where everybody is. I don't know if Granny Berry's watching this one, Joanna. I don't think she is. Here's Utah. Here's Michigan. Here's Guatemala. Can anybody beat Guatemala? Yep. Here's Australia. They beat that. Iowa. Here's Memphis, Tennessee, just up the road. Hey, neighbor, how you doing? Germany and Nebraska. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, here's the great one. Everybody listen up. Fatty liver is at epidemic levels in both adults and even in teenagers. The diagnosis of fatty liver is steadily going up. Martha's doctor said yesterday to cut down on fat because her liver labs are elevated. Martha's doctor means well, but is currently ignorant. Fat is not what's making Martha have fatty liver. It's too many carbs, too much sugar, too much fructose. So, Martha, I've got several videos about fatty liver. That's almost assuredly why your liver enzymes are elevated. I hope your doc checked for everything else, like I would have. But it's probably fatty liver. Watch my fatty liver videos, and you can reverse your fatty liver within a month or two. It'll be completely gone. Your numbers will be back to normal. Here's Be Free in Maine. Excellent, excellent. Well, here's Laura on Facebook. I'm taking Ambien and trying to get off it. The nights I don't take it, it takes hours to fall asleep. What do you suggest? I'm taking it for anxiety and stress, and as a result, difficult to fall asleep. So first of all, Ambien is not an anxiety or stress medication. If your doctor gave that to you for anxiety and stress, that's entirely inappropriate. It's not FDA approved for that. And that's a weird off-label use. Here's what a lot of people, first of all, Ambien comes in 2 strengths. Call your doctor and say, hey, can you write me the lower strength of that? Number 1. And then what you'll do is you'll take it for 3 nights, and then you'll skip a night. It's going to take hours to go to sleep that night. And then you'll take it for 3 nights, then skip a night. And then after doing that for 2 or 3 weeks, then you'll start taking it 2 nights and skipping a night. Take it 2, skip a night. And it'll be bad that night, but it won't be as bad. Then you're going to start taking it, skipping it every other night. Take, skip, take, skip. And then you're going to skip, skip, take, skip, skip, take. And so you're going to just slowly wean this Ambien down. It's very hard to get off of. And I bet you money Laura Jean's doctor did not tell her when he or she prescribed Ambien for her for anxiety. Now, this is going to be very, very difficult for you to ever get off of. Because I'll bet you if the doctor had told Laura Jean that, she would have said, really? I mean, I don't think I want to take that. How many of you guys were prescribed Xanax, Klonopin, Valium, some narcotic pain medicine, Ambien, any of the sleeping medicines, Lunesta, and the doctor said, now, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to wean down and stop taking this. What about Prozac, Lexapro, Effexor, Zoloft? Did your doctor tell you it might take you months, in some cases a year or 2, to wean down off this medicine? Because I'll bet you, because see, what that's called is informed consent. And that is part of the Hippocratic Oath is to explain treatments to people and to tell them the possible benefits and the possible risks. And if your doctor didn't do that, they did not get informed consent from you. Some people would consider that assault, chemical assault. Here, take this pill. I mean, okay, you're the doctor, but the doctor didn't tell you that it might take you 6 months to get off that medicine and it's going to suck the whole time you're trying to get off it. How is that not chemical assault? I don't know. You tell me. Good question. It's going to take time, but it's absolutely doable, Laura Jean. All right. Hey, thank you very much, Just a Man. If you want to include your question in a super chat, you can. It gets bumped to the top, but I try to scroll through and get questions from everybody. It's sick. Dairyvore several years, recently quit smoking again. Good. Please stay quit. Please be a non-smoker for the rest of your life. This time was easy as pie. First night jitters, but nothing ever since. Feels like nervous system is invincible now. Thanks for everything, Doc. This is something I hear a lot, guys. If you're currently a smoker or you're vaping or you're on drinking too much alcohol or some other illicit substance, I keep hearing from people that Ketovore, Carnivore makes it less difficult to break those bad chemical habits. I keep hearing that over and over and over. I didn't say it made it easy, did I? I said it makes it less difficult, makes it more doable. And Itzik's comment, I think, serves as proof of that. Thank you for sharing that. Vicky, is it necessary for a 70-year-old woman to check sex hormones? Indo says it's a given. They are low. Yeah, probably. So here's my answer to this, and this goes for every woman over the age of 50 listening, and also every man. If you're over the age of 50 and you're fatigued all the time, you don't sleep good, you've got no sex drive, you got no get up and go, you got no motivation, get your sex hormones checked. Unless you just want to live like that for the next 30, 40, 50 years. It doesn't sound like a lot of fun, right? Now, if you're 50 or over, male and female, and you're like, no, doc, I haven't had my sex hormones checked. I've got great energy. I sleep like a baby. I've got good get up and go. My motivation's great. I have good sex drive. Don't worry about your sex hormones. So, Vicky, here's my question to you. How are the symptoms I just rattled off? If you're like, they all suck, go get your sex hormones checked, okay? Unless you're ready to lay down in the pine box and be done, you want your hormones to be optimized. You want to not have all those symptoms. But I meet every day, especially people eating keto or carnivore, 60, 70, even 80 years old. They're like, no, I don't take any hormone replacement and I feel amazing. Now, could they feel better? If they optimize their hormones with bioidenticals, maybe, but they feel amazing. They have no complaints. So why would they even bother? I agree. But the endocrinologist is right. They're probably low, Vicky. But what I care about is your symptoms. I care about you. Do you have symptoms of low sex hormones? If you do, get them optimized. Obviously, your endocrinologist is not going to do it, but somebody will. Thank you very much. Thank you, Greta, very much. Rob, are plain peanuts high in starch? Yes. First of all, peanuts are not a nut. They're a legume, like a pea or a soybean. They're basically a bean that grows under the ground. They're not nuts. Okay. Number one. Number two, yes, they're very high in starch. Number three, they're usually also high in mycotoxins, mold toxins, that many people think, oh, I've got allergies or I've got some kind of skin condition. It's just the peanuts they eat every day. When they stop the peanuts, not only does their blood sugar come down, their insulin comes down, but the inflammation that they thought was just idiopathic goes away. Yeah, peanuts are not on a proper human diet. Burpo. That's YouTube handle of the day right there. Had a diet DNA test done. Oh, we got some stuff to talk about. Burpo recommended a low-fat diet. I don't agree. I feel great on carnivore diet. I love to hear your thoughts on DNA tests that analyze nutritional needs based on genes. Yes. So we have discovered very many things about DNA. For those of you who are over 30, you know we just literally sequenced DNA for the very first time in human history back in the early 90s. Okay, we're in the infancy of DNA research and knowing, oh, you've got this snippet or you've got this long chain of DNA. That therefore, our ability as doctors and researchers to tell Burpo, oh, we checked your DNA, you should eat a low-fat diet. This is idiotic, Burpo. Not only did they take your money, they didn't give you any value, but they actually gave you negative value. Every human on planet Earth, regardless of their DNA, needs fat in their diet. It is required. Fat is an essential nutrient. If I locked Burpo in my barn and fed him a completely fat-free diet, Burpo would die in a few weeks, month or two tops. Fat's essential. You have to have fat in your diet, Burpo. So this is ridiculous. There's no DNA test that can tell you, oh, you should eat lots of meat or no meat or lots of vegetables or no veg. Literally, that does not exist. Let me repeat that. There is no DNA test that can tell you what diet you will thrive on or what diet will optimize your health. Now, maybe in another 20, 30 years, or maybe if AI gets into it, maybe in another 3 to 5 years, we might be able to do that. But currently, anybody who tells you, I can check your DNA and tell you the exact diet you need to eat, they are either ignorant or they're a money grubber and they're dishonest. Ignorant or dishonest. That's the two options. There is no third option. Either you know the research and you know that this is impossible to tell Burpo what diet to eat from his DNA. Or you don't know and you're just running your mouth and you're an idiot. Or you know that you can't tell Burpo, but you're going to make something up. And also, Burpo, I bet you money, they had a line of supplements they were selling too, didn't they, Burpo? Yeah. And they're like, oh, and also you'd benefit greatly from the following supplements, which we happen to sell. Also, for those of you laughing at Burpo because he thought his DNA could tell him what diet to eat, a lot of you guys believe that your blood type has something to do with what diet you should eat. I'm about to burst your bubble too. This is ridiculous. Regardless of your blood type, you are Homo sapiens sapien. You are a human being. If we go back in time 15,000 years or further, all of your ancestors ate meat, regardless of their blood type. Okay. Now let's talk about food sensitivity testing because it's in the same boat of ignorance. It's in the good ship ignorance. If you've checked your food sensitivity testing. And they said, oh, you shouldn't eat red meat. Oh, you shouldn't eat pork. You shouldn't eat. This is foolishness. Ask a board certified allergist, immunologist, MD. Ask them, does food sensitivity testing tell me anything? And they'll laugh. They'll literally laugh at you like, no. The only thing it tells me as an immunologist is that you lost $150 or whatever and you didn't get anything out of it. Also, have you guys noticed that every food sensitivity testing company also happens to sell a line of supplements that you just happen to need based on your food sensitivity testing? If you notice that, it's almost like, well, I'll let you draw your own conclusions. Sorry, Burpo, you wasted your money. Eat your meat. Eat your fat. It's good for you. Just a man, been carnivore since May, down 75 pounds. Started at 345. But last blood test shows A1C 6.7, highest it's ever been. That's not good. You're type 2 diabetic. I need you to get your fasting insulin checked, just a man. It's possible that you were misdiagnosed as a type 2. You may be a type 1 diabetic. You may have developed LADA. If you've lost that much weight, but yet your A1C is still that high, well, first of all, do we know what your A1C was before you started? If your answer is no, then it may have been 11 or 12, and it's come down to 6.7. But if your A1C has went up, then you're almost assuredly a type 1 diabetic. You need to get a fasting insulin checked after you fast for 12 hours. Thank you for these super chats, by the way. Eric Joseph, off statin drugs as of today. How many of you guys are taking a statin because your doctor scared you into taking it? It's very common. Your doc's like, oh, your LDL's high. You're going to drop dead any minute of a heart attack. What I would love to be magic and pop into the exam room just at the moment the doctor says that. And I would say, Doc, that sounds real. It must, I mean, having high LDL must be super dangerous. You're acting like that Eric's going to die at any minute. What about these people who have been carnivore and not taking a statin for 10 years, 20 years, 25 years, and their LDL cholesterol is 350 or 450? Eric's LDL was just a little high and you were trying to scare him to death. What about these people? How they should drop dead left and right. Like it should be literally like a room of flies that somebody sprayed Raid. They should just be dropping. Every day there should be a new on Instagram. Another carnivore influencer dead. Another carnivore TikToker dead. But we never see those headlines. And I promise you, our vegan brothers and sisters would post that headline if it actually happened. And I'm here for the vegans and vegetarians too. I'm happy to answer your questions as well. I want everybody to enjoy the benefits of a proper human diet. Good job, Eric. Now eat a proper human diet strictly long term. Jennifer, proper human diet has reduced my CAC score. Do we know if it has reduced plaques in the brain? So nobody's researched that yet. But first of all, listen to this, guys. So Jennifer had her coronary artery calcium score checked a year or two ago. She started a proper human diet. She's been eating it and following it faithfully. She rechecked her CAC score and it went down. Did your doctor tell you that you could reduce your coronary artery calcium score, your plaque burden? Did your doctor tell you that eating a diet full of beef, butter, bacon, and eggs could lower your CAC score? Because that's what happened for Jennifer. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Okay. I already asked you guys where you're watching from. That was question number one. Question number two. Robert Kennedy Jr. was recently confirmed and is now at the head of he's Secretary of the Health and Human Services. I want to know your honest feelings about this. Is this good? Is this bad? Is this maybe bad? Maybe he's a Trojan horse. Or is this maybe good? Maybe he's going to do a lot of good things. I try not to be political on this channel, but there's nothing like this has ever really happened in America, at least in my 56 years. And so I'm really excited to see what you think about this. Is MAHA, is that a real thing? Make America Healthy Again? Is it a Trojan horse? Is it a setup? Do you think that they mean well, but they're not going to get anything done? Or do you think that they're going to clean house and truly make America healthy again? Also, if you're watching from another country, I'd love your angle watching this from another country or another continent. Do you think that make America healthy again? Do you think that's going to get any traction? Do you think it's going to do anything? Think it's going to actually have an effect? I hope so, but anytime the federal government's involved, I just my Granny Berry used to say, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. And I kind of took that to heart. That's kind of how I live my life. So that's what I've got to say about that. All right, here's Nav. Had Five Guys patties, cheese and bacon. They use Kraft cheese. Is that problematic? I think Kraft cheese is 100% real cheese. Now, not all cheese at fast food restaurants is 100% cheese. A lot of it is cheese food product. You have to actually ask them. And they, by law, they have to give you the ingredients, but you have to ask for it. Typically, I'll go to McDonald's. I'll get the quarter-pound patties. I go to Burger King, get the quarter-pound patties. Wendy's, Five Guys. I usually don't get the cheese patties because I mean the cheese slices, because I don't want to take the time to ask for the ingredient list and see if it's real cheese or if it's got vegetable oils added to it. But let me just say this, Nav. If the cheese slices on your burger patties, if that's the worst thing you've done all day, you're winning. It may not be perfect, but it's pretty damn good. And I've been in Canary, and my organs seem to even be hurting. Doctor can't figure it out. Do I need to be concerned? I think you meant carnivore. So most of your internal organs, Ann, don't have sensory nerve endings. They don't ache or hurt. This is something else aching or hurting. Now, there are a few organs in the lining of organs that can hurt. You said your doctor can't figure it out. Have you had a CAT scan or an MRI of your abdomen? Because just poking on your belly and listening to it, that's not going to tell the doctor much of anything. You need some blood work, you need some urine, and you need some imaging. If you've done all that and they didn't see anything, then there's nothing there to worry about. But if they have not done a CAT scan or an MRI of your abdomen, your belly, that's what you need next to make sure that there's nothing going on. Riff, 58-year-old male, type 2 diabetic, currently. No meds, morbid obesity, 3 months carnivore, gaining weight, A1C increasing. What the hell? Get your fasting insulin checked. I have seen this more times than I ever thought I would. You would assume that the average doctor would be able to tell the difference between type 1 and type 2 diabetes in an adult. 95% of the time, in a case like Riff's, it's type 2. If somebody comes in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and their A1C is high, 95% of the time, it's type 2. But a doctor's job is not to assume, because as Granny Berry used to say, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. That's not a doctor's job. A doctor should always check a fasting insulin. Because if Riff's fasting insulin is 0 or close to it, he's type 1. He needs insulin. Okay? You need a full thyroid panel, Riff. You need a fasting insulin checked. You need your adrenal glands checked, and you need your sex hormones checked. There's something else going on in the background here. Somebody's missed something. And if you're in our private community, Riff, please give me an update on this as soon as you find out, and I can help you more in the private group. Lee, 1.5 years, strict carnivore, weight loss, very, very slow. Eating correct macros for goal, no dairy, still get bloating. See a gastroenterologist. Ask them if you might need a colonoscopy. Ask them to check you for small bowel bacterial overgrowth. The very, very slow weight loss, full thyroid panel, adrenal labs, sex hormones. There's something else probably going on in the background here. I wonder if you're under eating. You said you're eating correct macros for goal. If you're eating carnivore, and everybody listen, even if you're trying to lose weight on a carnivore diet, don't count macros. Definitely don't count calories. You need to eat fatty meat, eggs with the yolk, and seafood that's unbreaded, not fried in vegetable seed oils, until you are full. Then go outside and play. You don't count macros. You don't measure portion sizes. You don't weigh. You don't measure. You don't count calories on a carnivore diet. You eat fatty meat until you're full. Then you go out and play. You might be under eating. It could be a hormonal issue that's not diagnosed yet. Gennaro are pecans or pecans or pecans. There's literally 3 different pronunciations in the Webster's dictionary. Pecans, pecans, and pecans. And if you're from certain parts of the United States and you don't pronounce it right, everybody will judge you. Here in Tennessee, if you say pecans, it's bad. It's not going to be good. In Alabama, if you say pecans, it's not going to be bad. It's bad. It's not going to go well. Yeah. So pecans are a pretty healthy nut as far as nuts go. They're relatively low in carbs. If you roast them, then you get rid of a lot of the oxalates and the phytates and the lectins. That goes for any nuts. Sprout the nut and or roast the nut. Never eat raw nuts. Most nuts you can't buy raw at the supermarket, especially some that are actually quite poisonous if they're raw, like cashews. But you can buy raw almonds, but I would never recommend you eat them. You can buy them, but bring them home and soak them overnight. That's going to lower the oxalates, phytates, the lectins. And then roast them at 200 degrees for an hour. And that's going to lower the anti-nutrient and the inflammatory parts of it even more. Then you're left with just the macros, the fat, the protein, and a little bit of carb. They're not perfect, but they're okay. If you're keto, if you're low carb, if you're keto, then you can have some pecans as part of your low carb or keto proper human diet. David, I heard carnivore isn't good for hypothyroidism. I take NP Thyroid 120. Thanks, Dr. Berry. So first of all, I love it that your doctor has you on NP Thyroid. If any of you guys have hypothyroidism and your doctor has you on Synthroid or levothyroxine, go see your doctor when it's time for the next refill and say, hey, I heard that Armor Thyroid or Nature Thyroid or NP Thyroid is much healthier, much more natural. And it actually has real T4 in it, because levothyroxine, Synthroid, is fake T4. It's not even real. It's not even the real T4 molecule. It's got synthetic in the name, Synthroid. It's fake T4. It's not even real T4. But NP Thyroid has real T4 and T3 and T2 and T1 and T0 and calcitonin. Did you know that your thyroid replacement should have all those in it? Because most people don't. Most doctors don't know that. Yeah. But Synthroid is just fake T4. Now, I heard carnivore isn't good for hypothyroidism. First of all, where did you hear that? Was it just some rando on social media? Because it's foolish. Regardless of your medical condition, you're going to benefit from a proper human diet, whether that's carnivore, keto, low carb, ketovore, doesn't matter. Carnivore is perfectly healthy for you, David. It's going to help you in hundreds of ways. Now, I keep saying proper human diet, and a lot of you may be going, well, that sounds good, but I don't really know what's the principles of a proper human diet. You can get a free copy of the Proper Human Diet Guidebook. There's a link down in the show notes. Click it. I'll email you a free copy. So I think it's 40 pages. Full, and it lays every principle of a proper human diet, and there's no gimmick. You don't have to buy anything. You can get literally a free copy. Now there's a $5 option where I on video walk you through the guidebook, but you don't have to buy that. You can get a free copy of it by clicking the link in the show notes. And that'll help you understand all the principles of a proper human diet. All right, David. There you go. Okay, let's see. Here's Visnu, developed dumping syndrome, and I've tried all natural ways, especially high protein, high fat meals. All I can do, and struggling because the constant epigastric pain. Leet 1 cream a day now. Doctor, part 1. Here's part 2. Okay, wow, that was convenient, I guess. Yeah, okay. The doctor prescribed cholesterol, Bentyl, and pantoprazole. What the hell? This is like the seventh motility specialist. No one has a clue. So have you been thoroughly imaged and scoped, Visnu? Have you had an EGD? Have you had a colonoscopy? Have you had a CAT scan or an MRI of your abdomen? Because you absolutely need all that stuff done immediately. As soon as I drink that or water 30 minutes to an hour after, everything is in the ileostomy bag. So you have an ileostomy. So you can do an experiment, Visnu. You can eat nuts and then see if they're completely digested. If they're not completely digested, you'll see them in your bag, right? Eat vegetables. If they're fully digested and they agree with your guts, then you won't see any in the bag. Then eat some red meat, eat some eggs, eat some seafood that's not breaded and not fried in vegetable seed oils. And then see if you see any evidence of them in your bag. What you're going to notice is you never see meat in your ileostomy bag. You never see eggs. You never see seafood unless it's breaded or fried in vegetable seed oils. But you will see vegetables in your ileostomy bag, and that's because your stomach, your intestines cannot digest them. You'll see nuts. You'll see corn. You'll see rice. You'll see soybean. You'll see all the plant stuff in your ileostomy bag because they're hard on your gut. Your gut has trouble digesting them. You're going to benefit most from an all-meat diet, plus or minus eggs, plus or minus seafood. But you've got to keep following up with this specialist until they figure out what's going on with you. Lively, is fasting safe for kids, such as an 11-year-old daughter who is carnivore trying to fix her IgA nephropathy? Well, first of all, carnivore is going to help her fix her nephropathy. There have been multiple cases of people with IgA and other nephropathies that a carnivore diet calms down the immune system and the degradation in kidney function stops. And in many cases, their kidney function gets better. Also, polycystic kidney disease gets better and better on a carnivore diet. There I am. I don't know what just happened. That was weird. Polycystic kidney disease gets better, much better on keto or carnivore. I actually have a YouTube video about that. Chronic kidney disease gets better on keto or carnivore. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people with chronic kidney disease, polycystic kidney disease, IgA, and other nephropathies, when they start meat-heavy keto, real whole food keto, not keto bread and keto cake, but real food keto, meat-heavy, or a ketovore or carnivore, their kidney function gets better. We've seen this so many times. More and more nephrologists now. Dr. Jason Fung, board-certified nephrologist in Canada. You ask him, I've got polycystic kidney or CKD or IgA nephropathy. Can I eat carnivore? He'll say, yeah, absolutely. More and more kidney specialists are saying that because they've seen enough patients like Lively's daughter. They've seen their kidney function improve on keto and carnivore. So your 11-year-old daughter needs to grow. She needs as much nutrition as she can get. Carnivore is perfect for her, but I would not recommend she fast unless she's currently classified as severely obese. If she's severely obese, then she can do some daily intermittent fasting. I still wouldn't recommend 24, 2-day, 3-day, 4-day, not for an 11-year-old. But if she wants to eat in an 8-hour window and then fast for 16 hours a day, I think that's fine if she's overweight. But if she's not overweight, no, she doesn't need to fast. She can eat 2, 3, 4 times a day. It's going to be fine. It's not the amount of food, it's the type of food. Thank you, John. Pat Burt. Hi, I just got my blood work done. My cholesterol is 8.87, so you're not in the U.S. Triglycerides 0.93, HDL 2.0, and non-HDL 6.9. Complete CHDL 4.4 and LDL 6.55 in Canada. Yeah. So as long as your triglycerides are normal and your HDL is normal and your A1C is normal and your fasting insulin is normal and your HSCRP is normal, I do not care what your LDL cholesterol is. Thank you very much. You guys like my new glasses? I lost them. Nisha just found them. I think they're cute. What do you think? You think they're cute? Jeffrey, is butter good for kidney disease? It's not that butter's magically good for kidney disease. It's that butter's not bad for your kidneys. It's not harmful. There's a list of foods that are good for your kidneys. They won't harm your kidneys. There's a list of foods that will harm your kidneys. The biggest harm to your kidney is a high carb diet. Lots of sugar, lots of fructose, lots of grains, lots of beans. That's gonna overstress your kidneys and may even cause kidney damage. Okay. If you had said, is margarine good for kidney disease? I would have said, hell no, it's bad for your kidneys. Never eat margarine or plant butter. The ultimate oxymoron. Butter's good for you. Eat butter. Eat butter every day. John, should pregnant women eat liver? If they like liver, yes, they should eat 2 to 4 ounces, 2 to 3 days a week. Liver is the ultimate superfood. It's so full of vitamins and minerals, so full of fatty acids and amino acids that the pregnant body needs and the fetus needs and the placenta needs. All those, yes, absolutely. Now, don't be eating a pound of liver a day, but 2 to 4 ounces, 2 or 3 times a week, absolutely, absolutely. I wish every pregnant woman, I didn't say pregnant person, I said pregnant woman. I wish every pregnant woman would eat 2 to 4 ounces of liver 2 times a week. Oh my God, that'd be so healthy. Good question, John. Here's Domer. My fasting glucose raised from 85 to 110 after 7 months on carnivore. Is this normal? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. What I need you to check is your hemoglobin A1C, and your fasting insulin. It's very common for about 70% of people on carnivore to have a blood sugar of 85 fasting. It's also about 30% of people will have a 90, 95, 100, 107. But when you check the A1C and the fasting insulin, they're both stone cold normal. That's what I care about. Thank you, Ryan, very much. Kelly, osteoporosis drugs. I'm only 61 and borderline. So I've got 3 videos on my YouTube channel, Kelly, that you need to watch immediately. One about osteoporosis, one about osteopenia, and one about bone strength. Watch all 3 of them, and then you'll understand. If you've just got osteopenia, which is basically pre-osteoporosis, you do not need to take one of the FDA-approved osteoporosis medications. Okay? You need to eat meat, and you need to eat eggs, and you need to start moving your body, making your muscles stronger, because when you lift weights or when you run or when you swim fast or bike fast or do jujitsu, whatever you want to do, it doesn't matter. But when you exert yourself, it makes your muscles stronger, and the muscles pulling on the bones make your bones stronger. Also, heel strike, like doing jumping jacks, jogging in place, going for a run, going for a sprint is the best, but you may not start there. You may work your way up to that. But that heel strike is a signal to your bones, hey, get stronger. Okay? Only women with severe osteoporosis will possibly benefit from Fosamax, Boniva, all those things. There's several. And you only need to take them for a year. Don't take them long term. The benefits, you get all the benefits with 12 months. Then you stop them. You don't take them long term because that can actually increase your chances of getting a broken bone. I know you're like, wait, no, what? Bone density is not the same thing as bone strength. Actonil and Boniva and Fosamax increase your bone density. That's clinically proven. But just because your bones are more dense does not mean they are more strong. Think about that. We live in a brick house here. If somebody brought a pallet of bricks and set it in my living room floor, and then somebody scanned my house from the outside, my house would be more dense with that pallet of bricks sitting right here in the floor, right? But would my house be any stronger? No. That's what Actonil, Boniva, Fosamax, that's what they do effectively. They just suck calcium in and just stick it wherever. It might make your bones stronger. It might not. It will make them more dense. So weight-bearing exercise, stressing your muscles, stressing your bones, and eating lots of meat, eggs, and seafood, that's how you're going to reverse your osteoporosis before it turns into your osteopenia, before it develops into osteoporosis. Here is Crystal, been doing carnivore for about 3 weeks now and have developed bad acid reflux, heartburn. Any suggestions? Go see your doctor, number one. Most people who have heartburn, when they start carnivore, it gets better. So it's odd that you're started after 3 weeks. Could be a temporary adjustment. Could be something else going on. See your doctor. Get checked out. Make sure. There's nothing about a carnivore diet that should give you reflux or heartburn. In fact, hundreds of thousands of people who used to have terrible heartburn, reflux, after they went meat-heavy keto or ketovore or carnivore, the reflux heartburn went completely away. So it's odd that yours is going the other direction. Get that checked out. Keto, do you take supplements? Yes, I do. I take a very few supplements. Back when I was low-carb paleo, I probably took 20 different supplements because back then I believed in supplements. I thought that was the way. Now that I've been carnivore for, 8 years now, I take, in the winter, like now we got 4 inches of snow, I take vitamin D3, K2. I supplement with iodine every day in my coffee. And I'm 56 years old, so I take some coenzyme Q10. I think that's it. Sometimes I don't take them at all because I forget them. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's the only supplements I take. Now, I know many carnivore, men and women, who don't take any supplements whatsoever, and they're doing amazing. They're healthier now than they were 10 years ago. So am I taking these because I truly need them, or am I taking these because I still have the magical belief that they're somehow magically going to help me? Maybe. But that's what I take currently. You guys tell me in the comments, how many different supplements do you take a day? And I can promise you, go ahead and put the number. Just put the number. I take this many supplements, 3, 5, 7, 12, 27. But I can promise you, I really want to know. Put it in the comments. I really want to know. But I promise you, if you're taking more than 4 supplements, you're probably wasting money on at least one of them. Some supplements. And so most people, especially in the winter, wherever you live, you need vitamin D3. And since you're taking D3, might as well take some K2 with it. It comes in a combo in coconut oil. Make sure it's a gel cap, and make sure it's coconut oil or MCT oil, not canola or soybean oil or corn oil, some vegetable oil. You don't want that. Almost everybody on planet Earth, unless you eat a lot of food out of the ocean, you need iodine. Now, I've got a YouTube video about iodine-rich foods, but some people don't like those foods, so they just take a little iodine supplement. Chick, I'm scared to do a colonoscopy. Is it bad to do it awake? Can I do it while awake? So, several things here. First of all, if you've got any family history or you're having any symptoms at all, you probably ought to go ahead and get checked for colon cancer at about 40 or 45 years of age, because as you know, younger and younger people are coming down with colon cancer, in many cases late stage colon cancer. Nobody's exactly sure what's causing it. I figure the cause is multifactorial. think there's probably several things leading to this. Now, how do you test? Well, you can do what I call the take-home poop test, which is an FOBT or an FIT. There's several different brand names. They give you a little kit to take home with a little popsicle stick. You poop, you get some poop, you put on the card, you seal it up, and you mail it off. If you do that every year, that's just as good as a colonoscopy. Even the American Gastroenterological Association says it's just as good to do. If you do that every year, that's just as good as a colonoscopy every 10 years. Okay. Now, can you do a colonoscopy awake? Yeah. When I was training in Memphis back in 2001, we did colonoscopies in the clinic as family physicians. We did lots of stuff in the clinic. We were considered an advanced family practice residency. We delivered babies. We did C-sections. We did EGDs, colonoscopies, skin biopsies. We did lots of stuff. And I'm so thankful that I got to go to that residency and had the great mentors that I had there that taught me not to be afraid. You're a smart guy. You can figure out how to do this procedure. And they were right. And we did colonoscopies, and we didn't want to sedate people because we would have had to have another full-time nurse and a bunch of extra equipment. So we used just partial sedation to do colonoscopies, and we did many of them. And it's not comfortable. I don't recommend it. I recommend that you do if you're going to have a colonoscopy, do it at a surgery center or hospital in the GI suite. Let them start an IV and let them consciously sedate you, because you do not want to remember the feeling of the colonoscope trying to go around your hepatic flexure. I promise you don't want that memory in your memory banks. It's not pleasant. It's not fun. It's doable. It's safe, but it's not fun at all. Let them sedate you. But if you're like, oh, I didn't know there was a once-a-year test that I just put a poop sample on and send off. Yeah, do that. Just do it every year. But I think most people should probably start at 40, 45 years of age now. Don't wait till you're 50. Our environment has been so polluted by so many corporations, so many chemicals, forever chemicals, nanoplastics, microplastics. There's probably chemicals in our environment that we don't even know the name of, thanks to, should I name the corporations? Should I name them? This makes me want to either throw up or put my hands on somebody, that they've mucked up our environment so bad. Ryan says there's no smoke without fire. People don't end up in these positions by accident. I don't believe governments operate with the best interest of the people in mind. Any tips for improving sleep on carnivore? So the more physical exertion you get during the day, Ryan, the more likely you're going to have restful sleep at night. The more you exert yourself mentally and physically. Get up early, get out in the morning sun. Let the morning sun shine on your face. Even in the winter, this morning it was like 9 degrees. And me and Bonnie and Beckett were all three out on the front porch, standing in the snow, letting the sun hit our face. Barefoot. True story. Yes, it was cold. Did any of us die? No. Did we lose a toe? No. We're fine. But we got that morning sun because that helps set your clock, so that then when your body has that sunlight, and even in the darkest day of winter, the sunlight is brighter than the light in your house. Even if you turn every light on, it's still 10 to 100 times brighter on the darkest winter day outside. It matters. Okay. Go outside. Let the sun shine on your face. Exert yourself physically, exert yourself mentally. That's literally, for most people who live a sedentary life, that's going to make all the difference for their sleep. Then you can try melatonin. You can try GABA. There's 50 different herbs that you can make tea with that help some people, don't help other people. Just keep experimenting. Keep this in mind. I'm working on a video about this. This is another tip I'll give you guys for free. Elevating the head of your bed 2 to 4 inches. I usually recommend that for if you have heartburn reflux. Put a red brick under each head post of your bed. But I've been researching this lately, and I have found that Hippocrates recommended elevating the head of your bed for better sleep, for better health. Galen, Yeah, Galen said you should sleep on a bed that has an elevated head for multiple medical reasons. So two of the greatest physicians of all history said, elevate the head of your bed. And then like there's all this research that insomnia is better. Obviously, reflux, heartburn, GERD is better if the entire head of your bed is raised up 2 to 4 inches. But all these other things are better as well. You breathe better, sleep apnea is less severe. The list goes on and on and on. And I'll be making a YouTube video about this in the coming weeks. But elevate the head of your bed 2 to 4 inches. It'll help you sleep better. Tom. Watching from Scotland. Sorry, couldn't help it. 4 days on carnivore. I went off ADHD Ritalin. I worry about the drugs. Your videos are wonderful. They are the hope I need. Thank you, Tom. That's the ultimate compliment. That's exactly why I do these videos. It's just for what you just said. So Ritalin, for those of you who don't know, as well as Adderall, methylphenidate, is first cousin to crystal meth. It's literally just a few atoms different. It's addictive. It's very, very addictive, just like crystal meth. Most people with ADHD don't need it. It does seem to help symptoms. I have ADHD. I took Adderall. God, it's been 21, 22, 23 years ago. I took it for about 3 months. And I could tell right away, I really like this stuff. I like this stuff a lot. I'll be like, I think I'm going to take a little extra today. Right off, within a week or two, I was like, ooh, this makes me feel amazing. Amazing. I think I'm going to take 1.5 today. If I'd have kept taking that, I ain't no telling. I'd already been to rehab, or I'd be taking so many Adderall a day. I said, nope, I'm not going down that road. I'm going to figure out another way. And now on carnivore, my ADHD symptoms are so minor, it's effectively like I don't have it anymore. Now I'm still absent-minded, still forgetful. Squirrel, I still do that stuff, but I'm never going to take Ritalin or Adderall for ADHD again. And if any of you guys are taking it right now and you're like, well, crap, I want to get off of it. Okay. You're going to have to wean down slowly because you are addicted to it. If you've been taking it more than 6 months, you're 100% addicted. And that's okay. It's just that you need to know that. You need to know I can't just stop this cold turkey or I'm going to have severe withdrawal symptoms. You're going to have to wean it down. So you call your doctor. Maybe you have to go in and see him and pay a copay, or maybe just talk to him on the phone, depending, and say, look, I want to get off this Adderall or this Ritalin. I want you to help me. I want you to wean me down off this. Some docs will try to talk you out of it. Like, you don't even need Ritalin or Adderall. It might treat the symptoms, but it doesn't cure your ADHD. But some docs will argue with you like, oh, no, you don't need to get off that. Why the hell not? If I don't take it, am I going to die? Is my life going to be shortened? Or am I just going to have to figure out other strategies to deal with my ADHD? You have to wean down off of it slowly. And it's easier to work with your doctor because they can write you lower dosages as time goes on. So talk to your doctor. If your current doctor won't help you wean off, find a new doctor, because that's a huge red flag that your doctor is a pill pusher and not an actual doctor. All right. Question time. It used to be called food stamps. Now it's called SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition. It's a federal program here in the United States that for people who have a low income, they get so much money a month to buy food with. It's becoming increasingly popular to talk about changing the SNAP benefits so that they cannot be used to buy Coke and candy, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Dr. Pepper, and candy. Now, some people see this as a freedom issue, like they should be free to buy whatever they want. Some people say, well, it's not even their money. It's tax money that's being given to them. The taxpayer ought to have a say. My position is that people went back when I was broke as a joke And there was a time I was on food stamps for about 3 months. Me and my little young family, we were on food stamps for about 3 months until I said, I can't do this. I can't spend other people's money. I'll get an extra job or something. I was in college, had a little baby. And after about the 3rd month, I was like, I can't do this. We're not doing this. And I think I got a second job, and we just were broke as a joke. But still, I couldn't do it. But some people can, and that's fine. I'm not judging. But it would have been better for me as a what's the proper way to, not poor, but unwealthy person. It would have been better for me if I got the most nutrient dense food with those food stamps. That's what they were called back then. Now it's SNAP. I want to know your opinion. Should people on SNAP benefits, should they be able to buy Coke and candy with it? Or should they be educated and encouraged to not do that and to buy nutrient dense food, but still have the option? Or should that option just be taken off the table? Now, I can tell you what Coca-Cola and Pepsi, I can tell you their opinion, because about 11% of SNAP benefits go straight to Coca-Cola and Pepsi. 11%. It's, I forget how many $1 billion a year Coke and Pepsi make off the SNAP program. So they want it to continue. They're going to say, oh, this is a freedom issue. They have a right to buy candy and Coke. Some people don't see it that way. I don't look at it that way. I look at it as in, if I were down on my luck and had to be on SNAP, I would not want the option to buy Coke and candy. I would want to say, dude, no, you need to go over here in the produce section and the meat section. You need to buy real food to have your brain firing on all cylinders so you can get a job or get a better job and get off the SNAP program. I want to know what you think. And this is a complicated issue. There's multiple issues here, but I want you to be honest in the comments. Tell me what you think. Now, LaShawn, no gallbladder and stomach is up and down. Diarrhea. Okay, LaShawn, what's your diet currently? Have you seen your doctor about this? How long has this been going on? I can't say much about this. Thanks for the super chat, but you didn't give me hardly enough information to really be able to say anything. Jess, I have primary sclerosing cholangitis, and every time I do strict carnivore, my liver enzymes jump up even higher. Doc says meat is stressing the liver. So you've got cholangitis. This is a specific condition. You may not need to be carnivore. You may need to be more low carb or keto. You're going to get virtually all the same benefits, but you won't have flare-ups of the cholangitis. Not everybody needs to be a carnivore. Carnivore is the most popular of the proper human diet options right now, but that doesn't mean everybody needs to be carnivore. I think everybody should try carnivore for 90 days, but I don't think everybody needs to be a carnivore for the rest of their life, but some people do. Hitoshura. What if someone has cancer? Wouldn't the glutamine in the red meat feed the cancer, making it worse? No. Cancer, in order to thrive and metastasize, must have sugar. It must have sugar. I've interviewed Dr. Thomas Seyfried on my YouTube channel. I've interviewed Dr. David Harper on my YouTube channel. I've interviewed Sam Apple, who wrote the wonderful book about Warburg, on my channel. Some cancers can limp by with glutamine. Some cancers need sugar and glutamine. But I asked Dr. Thomas Seyfried, one of the world's leading cancer experts, if you give a tumor glutamine but no glucose, can that cancer thrive and metastasize? And he said, it was a long, drawn-out, circuitous answer. No, it wasn't. He said one word. You know what it was? No. Just glutamine is not going to do it for a cancer cell. In order to thrive and metastasize, cancer needs sugar. That's why I recommend everybody with any kind of cancer, you need to be as low carb as you possibly can. And the lowest carb option of all is carnivore. Shadow, on carnivore for just over a year, still have high blood pressure. Might it still go down in the future? Wait 215, 6 foot tall. So you still got a little more weight to lose. So there's still a chance your blood pressure could go down even more. I wish you'd tell me what your blood pressure average is. Because if you're going by the American Heart Association's blood pressure recommendation, then over half the country has high blood pressure. It's ridiculous. Okay. Everybody needs a blood pressure of 120 over 80 or less than 120 over 80, half of adults in America would be on blood pressure medicine. And that's exactly what it seems like the American Heart Association wants. They take so much big pharma donations that it seems like they want to sell a lot of their buddies' pills. The American Academy of Family Physicians said if your blood pressure is under 145 over 85, you're fine. That's normal. They still say that. I agree. 140 over 90, if you're under that, you're primo. You're totally healthy and fine. Okay. Now, if it's still higher than that, Shadow, you might need a low dose of one blood pressure medicine temporarily until you've lost another 5 or 10 pounds, which will come slowly but surely. Then you can stop that pill. Jennifer, I may have left several copies of the Proper Human Diet Guide in my cardiologist's waiting room. Jennifer's not the first person to do this. So if you're joining late, you can get a free copy of the Proper Human Diet Guide book. There's a link in the show notes on YouTube and on Rumble and on Facebook. I don't know if it's on X or not. But you can get a free copy. I'll email you a free copy. And a lot of people make lots of copies of it. And they'll leave some at their church. They'll leave some at their, if they're in the Lions Club or the Civitan or the Rotary Club, they'll leave some copies. Some at the local library. A lot of people, the Proper Human Diet has helped improve their health so much. In some cases, saved their life. That they're like, that's a small thing I can do to help other people understand a proper human diet is I can make 20 copies of this and leave it at the local library. So thank you for doing that, Jennifer. That kind of paying it forward. When you guys hit the thumbs up on my videos, when you leave a comment, when you share my videos, when you leave copies of the Proper Human Diet Guidebook, that's how you help me reach people that otherwise they would have no idea that everything we've been talking about on this video today is true and can help improve their health. They would have no idea. You, Jennifer, and all 5,017 of you guys, share one video, leave one comment, print out one extra copy of the Proper Human Diet Guidebook and give it to a friend, give it to your neighbor, give it to your brother or sister who needs it. So many people are hungry, but they're hungry for the right information. They're hungry for real food, but they don't know what that is. They're so confused because every different doctor, some doctors say, oh, eat the Mediterranean diet. It's proven that it's the best diet. That's a big fat lie. It's never been proven. Oh, eat low fat, low cholesterol. That's been proven. No, that's a big fat lie. It's never been proven. Oh, eat vegan, vegetarian. It's been proven. No, another big fat lie. And so people try all these different diets and they're like, well, hell, that didn't do nothing. Tried the Weight Watchers diet. I'd love to know how many hundreds of millions of dollars Oprah has made with Weight Watchers. And people like, I'm going back to Weight Watchers for the 10th time. It didn't work the first time, but I'm going to try it again because I love Oprah. They just don't know that a proper human diet exists. They don't know the principles of a proper human diet. So thank you, Jennifer, so much for doing that. Sonia, I am hypothyroid, came off desiccated thyroid, 90 a day due to swelling in my calves. Is it safe to start meds again at a lower dose? You need to see your doctor, Sonia. You need to get your labs checked. You need to tell your doctor your thyroid symptoms. And then y'all as a team need to get together and decide whether your dose needs to be 30, 60, or 90. Do we know for a fact that it was the thyroid replacement hormone that made your calves swell? How do we know that? How do we know it wasn't kidney problems, liver problems, heart problems? Was that investigated? If not, you don't actually know what caused that. You just assumed. Or maybe your doctor just assumed that it was the desiccated thyroid. That's not, doctors should not assume. They should check. Doctors should not assume. They should test. They should check labs and urine and imaging studies. That's their job, not to assume. I mean, hell, your damn ex-mother-in-law could assume something. Who can't do that? That's not a doctor's job. Go see your doctor or go see a new doctor. Vicky, will light exercise help with pain? Yes. Almost regardless of what's causing the pain, the answer is yes. Have Hashimoto's, but numbers don't look bad. Just started Armor. Okay, good. Yes. So for any of you guys with fibromyalgia is the most overdiagnosed, misdiagnosed diagnosis there is in modern medicine. I cannot tell you how many hundreds of patients who came to me with the diagnosis of fibromyalgia. And I would say, did your doctor check a bunch of blood work and stuff and then tell you had fibro? And 100% of the time they'd be like, no, they poked on me and said, you got fibromyalgia. Here, take this Lyrica or this gabapentin or this Neurontin. I'm like, they didn't check any blood or urine. No. Why? They just said they poked on me and that I had it. Fibromyalgia, along with many other diagnoses, are diagnoses of exclusion. And a good doctor should know this. You don't just poke on somebody and say, oh, you got fibromyalgia. You have to rule out hypothyroidism, Hashimoto's, adrenal problems, low testosterone, low progesterone, and a host of other medical conditions. Chronic kidney disease can give you every symptom of fibromyalgia. Chronic liver disease can give you every symptom of fibromyalgia. There's a lot of diseases like fibromyalgia. I'm not saying that fibro is not real. I'm saying that lazy doctors diagnose you with fibro because they're too damn lazy to look for what's actually wrong with you. If there's any doctors watching, I don't mean to offend you much. I do mean to offend you just enough so that you'll step it up a notch. Step it up. Rhea, I think black coffee is causing a spike in my blood sugar. Then fasting, I'm a type 2 diabetic, currently type 2. There's about 10% of people that black coffee will spike your blood sugar. About 10% of people, black coffee will raise your triglycerides. Yep. It's a genetic variant, and you got to know if that's you or not. Some people do not need to drink coffee. For some people, it's fine. I drink coffee every day. I love coffee. I tried 90 days without it. Nothing bad happened. Nothing good happened. So I just missed coffee. So I went back to drinking it. But there's some people who don't need to drink coffee because of their genetics. This is one thing we can tell from genetics, but not whether you should eat meat or not. Not yet. All right. I was going to tell you guys, I just posted on my Nostr. Do you know what Nostr is? If not, you should check it out. Nostr. It's a decentralized social media platform where you can't be canceled. You can say just what's on your mind and nobody can cancel you. If you don't know what that is, look it up. If you don't care, forget about it. But if you're like, I've heard of that before, you should look it up. You can find me there. Melanie, fatty liver and mycotoxins high, causing cholesterol and triglycerides to go sky high. My worry is the small, dense LDLs. Can those be reversed? Yeah, they can be. And it's not the mycotoxins causing it. The same thing that's causing your fatty liver is also causing your triglycerides to be high. You got to cut the carbohydrates down drastically. When you do that and you keep the carbs very, very low for weeks and months, your fatty liver is going to go away. Your triglycerides are going to come back down to normal. Your HDL is going to go up. Your A1C is going to come down. Your fasting insulin is going to come down. And your HS-CRP is going to come down. Lazy doctors sometimes diagnose mycotoxins. Now, if you live in a house where there's black mold on the wall, then you may be being exposed to mycotoxins. You should move out. Leave that house. But if you're like, no, I mean, my house is new or it's pretty clean, or then it's probably not mycotoxins. It's too many carbs. Warbuck. Hey, Doc, 60 years old, 5'10", 155 pounds, 3 years strict beef, butter, bacon, and eggs with some cheese. Did your own your labs pack? Triggs 131, which is under 150, which is normal. HDL 54, which is above 50, which is normal. glucose 100, A1C 5.5, which is normal. What gives? Warbuck, all your labs are normal. I don't know. So I'm not sure what your question is. All your labs are normal. Congratulations. Tom in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. Hey, neighbor. Have Kennedy's disease. Rare. Went from 244 to 186 since July due to carnivore. So he lost how many pounds? 44 plus 14, 60 pounds since July. Nice. You know anybody needs to lose 60 pounds? Take a screenshot of Tom's comment. January the 3rd, cheated on New Year's. LDL 198, total cholesterol 297, triglycerides 259. They said LP little a was high. Also got some blockage in your LAD. So your trigs are high because you cheated. So recheck your triglycerides after a month of being just carnivore and after you fasted for 12 to 14 hours, and they're going to be completely normal. Of all the cholesterol medicines, I hate Repatha and Praluent the most. They lower your LDL cholesterol to sub-physiological levels. I don't think it's safe. I don't think it's healthy. I think there's going to be huge class action lawsuits long-term over Repatha and Praluent. If you want to compromise with your doctor, tell your doctor you'll take 5 milligrams of Crestor. But if you were my worst enemy, I would tell you don't take Repatha or Praluent. If you were my best friend, I would tell you don't take Repatha or Praluent. They worry me more than just about the only medicine that worries me more than Repatha and Praluent is high dose Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro long term. I think there'll be huge class action lawsuits for them as well. 3 to 5 years. I could be wrong, but we'll see. We'll see, won't we? Dan, what are your thoughts on sardine fast and Dr. Boz's idea that you should do that to keep your ketones high so you can burn fat? I have no problem with a sardine fast. I don't think that's necessary. If you're doing carnivore and you're not losing weight, or you're doing keto or ketovore and you're not losing weight after 3 to 6 months, then I want you to go get all your labs checked, because it's very common you've got an undiagnosed hormone issue. But if all your labs turn out normal, then do a sardine fast. And that's really should be called a sardine challenge, right? Because you eat nothing but sardines for a week. And what happens for most people is it turns into an actual fast, because after about the second day of eating sardines all day, every day, you're like, I'd just rather die than eat another sardine. But I've heard people that this helped them. I've also heard people that said, I hated this. I basically fasted for the whole time, which is fine too. Both are safe. Eating sardines every day is safe. Fasting, for 3, 4, 5 days is safe as well. And it may unstick your stall, in which case, huzzah, I'm all for it. Marie, is it okay to take iodine with hyperthyroidism and a large nodule? Yes. Every human being on planet Earth with any medical condition needs a good supply of iodine regularly. My endocrinologist said not to take it. What are your thoughts? I think your endocrinologist means well, but is currently ignorant. Watch my iodine videos on YouTube. I've got links to all the research. The one big iodine video has got probably 15 research articles cited. This is not debatable. Every cell in your body, Marie, needs iodine routinely. Your skin cells, your eye cells, your booty cells, your toenail cells, your stomach, every organ in your body, not just your thyroid. I don't fault normal people for thinking, oh, iodine's just for your thyroid. But I do fault a doctor who has forgotten this basic physiology. And an endocrinologist says, oh, avoid all iodine, you've got hyperthyroidism. Every cell in Marie's body has a sodium iodide symporter, without exception. We've never found an exception in the human body. That means that every cell needs iodine. Doctor, what are you talking about? So if anybody's doctor says that, send them a link to my iodine video and ask them to please watch it. Ellie or L, does D3K2 affect warfarin? No. Vitamin K1 can affect your INR. That's a test that we check as doctors. If you're taking Coumadin or warfarin, we check your INR level to see if your warfarin dose is correct. Vitamin K1 that's found in leafy greens can affect that test. Vitamin K2 doesn't really affect that test. Now, a lot of doctors will tell you you can't eat leafy greens if you take warfarin or Coumadin because it'll mess up your INR. That's lazy on the doctor's part. What I always tell my patients and still do is, do you love greens? And if some people will be like, no, then I'm like, good, never eat them. That'll make it easier to adjust your Coumadin dose. But I ask that question. Some people are like, yes, I freaking love turnip salad or collards or whatever. And then I say, okay, I need you to commit to eat a certain amount of greens, but you got to eat them every single day. The same amount, a cup every day. And if they really love greens, they're like, okay. But if they don't really love them, they're like, well, just never mind. I just won't eat them. That's fine. But if you eat the same amount of greens every day, then I can still adjust your INR and I can follow your INR and adjust your Coumadin and get it just right and keep it just right. But you got to eat the same amount of greens every day. Yeah. But see how that was a longer conversation. Most doctors don't want to have that conversation. They want to get you in and out because that's the way modern medicine's got it set up for them right. Every day in our private community, I answer questions like this, like L's right here. If you don't trust your doctor, if you don't have a loved one who can help you start and stay strict on a keto diet or a ketovore diet or a proper human diet, you should consider joining our private community. There's a link down in the show notes. It's very affordable. There's thousands of people in there from all over the world, everywhere but Antarctica. Nobody from there yet. But every other continent, we got tribe members in the tribe. Thousands. And some of them have been with me for 3 or 4 years. And they know exactly what my answer is going to be to any given question. And so a lot of times newbies will just post in the main chat in there and say, hey, this. And they're like, oh, yeah, Dr. Berry says this. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. But a lot of you guys need support because your spouse is not going to help you lose weight. Your mama sure ain't going to help you lose weight because she loves to feed you. You need support. And that's what we offer inside this private community. So if you want to check it out, there's a link in the show notes. Let me get another good question. Gennaro says, what is best for tendons and ligaments? 2 things. Eat a proper human diet to feed the ligaments and the tendons all of the collagen building blocks they need, all the fibrin building blocks that they need, all the connectin building blocks that they need. Number 1, eat a proper human diet. Number 2, stress your tendons and ligaments routinely by exertion, strenuous exercise. That's how you keep tendons and ligaments strong. You got to eat the food that builds them, and then you got to stimulate them so that they get strong and stay strong. That's how you do that. Pigpen, a FibroScan said my liver 65% or more is fat. Dude, that's a lot of fat in your liver. I'm having dizzy spells. Will a fatty liver cause dizziness? I mean, when it gets to the point of being NASH or cirrhotic, yeah, absolutely. Will carnivore fix my liver? Absolutely. First of all, you need to make sure you don't have hepatitis. Even if you do, you can still eat carnivore, but you need to know you need a thorough liver examination. And if you got a FibroScan, you probably got that. I've never seen any diet reverse fatty liver quicker than meat-heavy keto or ketovore or carnivore. And I explain exactly what each of those is and how to do it in the Proper Human Diet Guidebook that you can get for free. You can reverse even a 65% fat in your liver. You can reverse that within 3 to 6 months. And all your symptoms are going to get better. Okay. Now, I don't know all the details of your case, right? So there may be other things. Are you still drinking alcohol? You need to stop. Do not ever touch another drop of alcohol. You need to never take another over-the-counter pain medicine. You really don't need to take an over-the-counter anything. Your liver's had enough of your bullshit, whatever your bullshit was. But most of your bullshit was probably alcohol and too many carbs, too much fruit juice, too much Coca-Cola, and now your liver's in a fix. But livers have an almost miraculous ability to regenerate. But you got to feed them the food that allows them to heal and regenerate. And that is not a vegan diet or a vegetarian diet or a high-carb diet. It does not contain any breakfast cereals or bread of any kind. It does not contain rice or beans or grains or vegetable seed oils or plant butter. None of that shit. You need to eat meat-heavy keto or ketovore or carnivore. And then repeat the FibroScan in 6 to 12 months. And then watch your doctor's face as they go, it's much better. I don't understand. How is your liver better? Then you can teach your doctor about the power of a proper human diet. All right, guys, that's it. I'm wrapping up. It's not too late to share this video. You know, we've covered a lot of excellent material that could really help people out there. A lot of people don't know what you know now. Please click the share button. Help them, give them a chance to learn. They may not watch the video. If they don't, that's not your fault. You did your part. You paid it forward. Share this video on your favorite social media. Print out a few extra copies of the Proper Human Diet Guidebook. Give it to a friend. Give it to a loved one. Leave some at church. We got to get the whole world healthy again. We're too sick. We've been poisoned for too long by junk food and many, many other things. I'm here to help with the medicine and the nutrition. That's my wheelhouse. I need your help to help broadcast this message because there's millions of people out there who have never heard about keto, carnivore. All they know about keto is it'll cause keto butt crack. That's all they've ever heard. They don't know the truth. You can help them learn. You can teach them. You can get them a gift membership to our private community if they need lots of support. Some people need more support. Some people are like a mountain lion on a hillside. They got it. They just like a carnivore. Got it. We'll do. Not everybody's that way, and that's fine. Some people need a tribe of people. They need encouragement. They need advice, and that's what the group is for. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for sharing this. I'll see you inside the group. I'm live in there an extra 3 or 4 times every week. And instead of 5,000 people asking questions, it's 100 or 200 people asking questions. So I can answer questions more thoroughly. I can answer more completely. You can share your labs with me. You can share your test results. We can talk about it. That's what we do inside the group. We've got 10 excellent certified coaches in there who can help you. I promise you it's worth the money. That's it, and that's all. This is Dr. Barry signing off. See you next time. Make the world